Jai Jagannath. We continue the reading of Bhagavad Gita. Last time we were chapter 4, verse 31. We read 10 verses in the last two meetings. So let's see, maybe we can do 10 or a little more. Now, any question from last verses? No.
No.
No. Okay. So we continue. 31. Yagya Shista Sinam. Yagya Shista Nrita Bhujo. Yanti Brahma Sanatanam. Nayam Loko Sti. Ayagyasya Kutonya Kurusattama. Best of the Kurus. Okay, I need to get eyeglasses, looks like. Okay, best of the Kurus, Arjuna, those who accept the nectar of the leftovers from the sacrifice attain the eternal transcendence, which here is called Brahma Sanatanam. Okay. Those who do not perform sacrifice cannot have even the benefits that we can find in this world. What to speak of attaining anything else, which is another world, which is the next world. So, sometimes people say that Krishna condemns the worship of the devas and the karma kanda and the everything, and which is totally false, because we see this is the evidence that Krishna is recommending the yajna both for this world and for the next. So even if we want to attain transcendence, we need to engage in yajna. Yajna, Krishna has explained, there are many types of yajna. One is the worship of the devas, which is a totally legitimate and good yajna, because the devas are actually manifestations of God, of Vishnu. Then the yajna of studying, the yajna of performing charity, performing sacrificing things, controlling the prana and everything. So they're all forms of yajna. Okay. If there is no other elaboration, we go on. We have verse 32. Thus there is a great variety of sacrifices found everywhere, at every level, and all aimed at Brahman, or emanating from the mouth of Brahman. Here, this is the translation of the expression Brahmano Mukhe. Brahmano, here without the long E, means Brahman. Mukhe is the face, the mouth, towards, so when we turn our face towards Brahman, we are doing this this approach, Brahmano Mukhe. Knowing that all these are born from activity, or the complementary translation is, are genuine forms of dutiful action, you will be liberated. Vimokshase. You will become free. Okay.
Just one clarification. Krishna says knowing,
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Okay. Am I audible now properly?
Better. Yeah.
Okay. So when Krishna says that knowing this, you will get liberated. So just knowing that all other forms of yajna will it be sufficient?
Brahman. they're all aimed at Brahman, are emanating from Brahman, and all of these are born from activity, from our duties, from our work. So we can continue to work, we can continue to do all our activities, our dutiful activities, for offering them to the Brahman, and then we'll become liberated because we are not doing any karma, because we are detaching ourselves from the the ahankara and mamatva, the material identification and material attachment. This is the concept that Krishna is repeating in Gita over and over. We become liberated when we perform our duty without ego and without selfishness. Without egoism or egotism, without, ahankara and mamatva. All the variety of sacrifices, of yajnas, there are so many ways we can engage in yajna. As we said before, Krishna has listed a lot of activities, including the performance of our duties, professional duties, family duties, religious duties, all the sattvic, dharmic duties are performed, when they are performed in a transcendental consciousness, because we have this consciousness, we are offering them to Brahman, we are offering them to Krishna if we want, because Bhagavan is not different from Brahman. Like Krishna will say later on, whatever you eat, whatever you do, whatever you sacrifice, yad karoshi, yad asnasi, yad juhosi, dadasi yat. Tat kuru, madarpanam, for me. Not for me in the sense, in a material sense, but in as a devotional service to God, to the Supreme, to the Brahman, if we want to call it Brahman, because the Bhagavad will say, Vedanti tattvoidas jnanam advaya brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti uchate. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, they're one, they're one tattva. Jnanam advayam, which is the non-dualistic knowledge, the consciousness. Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan are the principles of perception, of existence. I don't know if it helps to understand.
Yeah. Clear.
Okay. Okay. Any other question about this?
No.
Okay. So when we perform all these activities and work and duties, by remembering and aiming them at Brahman, then we are liberated, become liberated. Okay. 33. Oparantapa, Arjuna. Better than the sacrifice of one's wealth is the sacrifice of knowledge. Oparta. The entire scope of all the activities must culminate in knowledge. Without knowledge, we are not in a good place. Tadviddi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. Upadekshanti jnanam jnaninas tattva darshina. This is a very famous verse. You should learn this knowledge by approaching those who directly contemplate the truth, asking them many questions and offering them service. Those who have the knowledge will initiate you into this science. This is the science of yajna. This is the science of engaging in the service of God. Okay, of the Bhagavad, Paramatma, Brahman. So all our activities can become direct devotional service. How to get into this practice, into this, we can say technique, this understanding, this knowledge? We need to find some people who already have that knowledge, who directly contemplate the truth, to go and learn this knowledge, asking all the possible questions. Pari prasnena. Pari means completely, thoroughly. Prasna is the, I see a typo here, okay. Pariprasnena, not pariprasenena, okay. So, asking all questions and sevaya, by offering service. This is the exchange that should be between the guru, the teacher, and the student. The teacher is teaching, and the student is doing, is helping, offering service. Because that's the system. In the Gurukula, the guru has the responsibility of taking care of all the students, but the students have to offer service, whatever the guru is asking them to do, they're supposed to do, because guru is testing them, training them through service, through not only through teaching, but also through practical application. Now, the initiation here, that is upadekshanti. Diksha, this is upadekshanti. Diksha is the point, is a concept of initiation. This means starting to engage in a particular sadhana, in a particular practice, in a particular approach. You need to learn the basics. And the person who's taking care of, showing you the ropes, so to speak, is one who initiates you. Initiation, the word initiate means to begin. So you begin, when you take initiation, you begin to actually engage, fully in the practice, seriously. It's something that you start at some point. And you can get a new initiation from each new guru you get. You don't need to have one guru only. The Sadguru, lifetime after lifetime, is a Guru Tattva. It's not one particular embodied person that is a Guru Tattva. Guru Tattva can manifest in so many people. And in fact, this verse is in the plural, upadekshanti. It's not upadekshati. Upadekshanti means they will initiate. The teachers, the gurus will initiate. So it's not just one. We can have many initiations. We can have many gurus. There are lots of examples in scriptures, in history. It's totally normal. Do you have any questions about this? No.
Clear.
Yeah, please.
No, I said it's clear. I was about to ask on that initiation, but you explained it.
Yeah, it's still coming. as I said last time, it's still coming from the computer box. Anyway.
Okay.
I can, I have to be very careful to hear, otherwise I'll not understand. Okay,
Okay.
we'll go on. So this is clear. So we go on. We go to verse 35. O Pandava, Arjuna, knowing this science, you will never again fall into illusion, and you will directly see all the beings, which means, living entities or states of beings, state of being, in the self, therefore in me. So Asheshani means endless, without end, without exception. Drakshasi, you will see. Atmani, in the self. Atau, which is to say, Mai, in me. So, Krishna, Bhagavan, is the self of the self, is the Param Atman. Okay, so everything is there in the self. Everything is in the Paramatman. So there is, it is complete. The Paramatman is the Param Guru, is the original Guru. Talking about the Guru. Okay. 36. Even if you were burdened by many negative actions, by the greatest possible sins, you will be able to cross the ocean of bad things by the boat of knowledge. Okay, this is important to understand, that the many negative actions and the greatest possible sins need to be left behind. It's not that we can continue to do negative actions and sins and bad choices and still think that we are crossing the ocean of bad things, crossing the ocean of evil, crossing the ocean of bad karma. Reginam Santariccia. It will be quiet. It will. You'll be able to cross over, and it will be very quiet. Okay. Yes. Knowledge is the most important thing. Here, verse 37. Arjuna, just like the blazing fire turns firewood into ashes, similarly the fire of knowledge turns all karma, reactions to action, into ashes. Because once we understand, once we have the real knowledge, we understand, realize the knowledge, then all the karma is burned up. We will stop doing bad things, and we will be free to engage in the transcendental activities, transcendental level. Okay. Whenever you want to ask question, please stop me. Okay.
Yeah. On this one only, I wanted to ask.
Sure.
So this is talking about the future karmas or the past karmas also it will burn, because we see that many great saints have faced difficulties in terms of
Yes.
so how to understand that, because
It's a
they've
very
already
good
attained
question.
knowledge.
Very good question. It burns to ashes both the old karma, the present karma, and the future karma. Because when we actually realize the knowledge, we stop doing stupid things. And the past karma becomes neutralized because we are not going to follow it. Not because, we are magically cleansed of all bad karma, but because we are not allowing it to germinate. The example of the Shastra is given, it's like roasting the seeds. When you roast the seeds are still there, but they will not sprout. So whatever difficulties the liberated persons are going through still while in this life are a very small portion, a very small part of the bad karma. They're just like the roasted seeds. Now karma, people, they have difficulties in understanding how the karma works. The karma is a constant cycle, from the seeds to the plant to the fruit to the seed to the plant to the fruit. When we choose to do something bad, we create a tendency. That's why guna and karma always go together. If we perform actions under the influence of sattva, the karmic seed will be sattvic. So it will be good karma. We say good karma because it's easier, but it's a sattvic karma that will, create a tendency for us to continue to perform sattvic actions. But at any time when we understand, when we have the knowledge, we understand what we're doing, we understand what's the purpose of life, then our tendency to make choices based on material calculations will die out. So even if the seed is still there, it will not push us, into the vicious circle. Now, there is also another aspect that we can see, for example, in the Leela of the avatars. Even people who don't have actually any even roasted seeds, like we have the avatar like Krishna and Ram, and we see them going through a lot of difficulties. So it's not about karma. It's about establishing an example for people. When the avatars come to show their Leela, there is a double purpose. One purpose is to convey teachings, because the avatars are always giving the opportunity to either themselves, like here Krishna in Gita, or to other companions and associates of them, like for example, I don't know, Vishwamitra, Rishi, or in the case of Ram, or Vashisht in the case of Ram. They give the opportunity to present teachings, but they also give examples. They give examples of applied knowledge, of how to face the situations, how to face difficulties. Because we, as ordinary human beings, can learn a lot. Just look at the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, how much we can learn from the life example of the people in the stories. So the knowledge, applied knowledge, realized knowledge, will burn all the bad karma, all the bad karma, past, present, future, because we are not going to work selfishly any longer. So we are not touched by the results of the present and future activities. Regarding the past, the results of the past activities, we can get a little bit of it, but very little. Mostly we should take whatever comes as a blessing, an opportunity from God, because all problems can be opportunities. This we can see, quite easily when we examine each and any problem that we face. It depends on how we face it. We can use it in a very positive, constructive, efficient manner. Like, for example, you remember the beginning of the Bhagavata Purana, when Narada goes to see Vyasa, and Narada tells him about his previous lifetime. You remember that part?
Yes.
Then Narada was a child. Yeah. You're saying something?
No. I just said, yeah, I know that past time.
Excellent. So Narada in the previous lifetime was a young son of a maid servant, a Shudra woman who was going around and doing service, as a house help, we can say. And at some point, some rishis, some brahmanas, it's not clear what type of sadhus they were, but they stopped at that house for the rainy season. During the rainy season, people, the sadhus were not traveling because it's too difficult. So they were staying in one place, doing some austerity, and talking about transcendental, divine knowledge. And the child would sit there and, do some little service to them, helping mother to do, the cleaning, the washing, whatever. And he was also listening to their discourses when, whatever they were talking about, he was listening. So he developed a very strong attraction for spiritual life. Then the sadhus then went away, and his mother was bitten by a snake while she was out to milk the cows. So she was bitten by a snake and she died. And the child was still very young. He remained orphan. But Narada said, says to Vyasa, I took this as a blessing because this was liberating me from all material conditionings. I was free. It's not that he didn't love his mother, it's not that he didn't, miss her or whatever, but that was a problem, seriously, because the child was practically alone in the world, and, he had no support, no protection, but he took it as an opportunity. So he started to travel and to try to find sadhus to learn from. You see, so, we could say that was some bad karma, but if we have sufficient knowledge, the proper knowledge, we don't consider it as bad karma. We are not affected because we take it as an opportunity. We take it as a blessing. In the same way, when you eat yagya shishta, when you eat prasadam, the leftovers of the sacrifice, you're not you don't have to pay bad karma because of the plants and the seeds you killed to make your food. Even a vegetarian diet is still, causing some karmic debt, especially if you eat seeds, which we don't usually eat in fasting days because they create karmic debt. On fasting days, we usually eat leaves, fruits, things that we are not killing. Because the leaves and the fruits fall by themselves. They're not living, they're not a plant. The plant sheds leaves, it's not a problem. It's just like the hair for human beings. But even if we eat vegetarian food, we become affected by the karma unless we offer this food in sacrifice. So in yagya shishta. So this is through the knowledge. This is through the fire of knowledge. So the prasadam we eat, the leftovers of the yagya, will not cause bad karma. Is that clearer?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question about that?
No.
Okay. So
Clear now.
we go on. And 38. In this world there is nothing as pure and sacred, pavitram, as knowledge. Jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. One who achieves perfection in this yoga, this is yoga, yagya is yoga, comes to find full happiness in the self in the course of time. So here Krishna says, clearly, tasvayam yoga samsiddha. This is the perfection of yoga. The yagya, the science of yagya, is the actual purpose of yoga. Okay. Vindati, realizes, attains, finds pleasure, also grows, becomes more evolved, we can say. Find full happiness. Okay. The same root as the name Govinda, who gives pleasure to the cows. Okay. 39. One who has faith and controls his senses by focusing on that purpose, which is the yagya yoga, can achieve knowledge. And one who has attained knowledge very quickly finds peace. Because someone who has that knowledge, that understanding, that realization, doesn't have anxiety anymore. He's peaceful because he knows that everything that comes his way can be engaged in the service, in yoga, in transcendental service. So, there is no anxiety. Also, the greatest anxiety is the fear of death. If you know you're never going to die because you are not the body, so there is no anxiety possible. Total peace. And how can there be happiness without peace? Okay, let's see. This is 39, and let's go to 40 then. A person who is devoid of knowledge and faith and cannot overcome doubts will be lost. For one who is plagued by uncertainty, there is no happiness in this world or in the next. So it doesn't say that we should not have doubts. We definitely are, allowed to have all doubts we want. But the point is that when you have a doubt, you have to solve it. You have to go forth and verify and decide which is which. Because if you always remain in doubt, you'll never be able to do anything. So what progress you can do? You never find happiness because you're never doing, learning anything. So faith here, Shraddha, doesn't mean blind faith. It means the starting point from where you can actually invest the energy to verify, to make the experiment. Because after making the experiment, Shraddha becomes, we can say, at the same time it becomes obsolete and it becomes strengthened. Because every time you, verify the good result of the method, your faith is strengthened, but you don't need faith so much anymore, because you don't, it's not about faith, it's about knowledge. You know it's working. So it's I think it's clear enough. Huh? Any question? No.
No.
Okay. And 41. One who practices the renunciation or has attained detachment from actions, which is the same thing. Renunciation means detachment. Okay. Through yoga, and has cut through all doubts by the sword of knowledge, resides in the self. Or also, the other meaning is, finds his desires turning towards the self. Okay, let's see the Sanskrit here. Yoga sannyasta. One who has obtained renunciation through yoga. Okay. Karmanam jnana sanchinna. Has cut all the doubts, like karmanam, yoga karmanam. 1 minute. Okay. Yoga sannyasa karmanam, jnana sanchinna asamsayam. Samsayam. Samsayam is a doubt. So has cut through the doubts by knowledge. So yoga karmanam is from the first part. Okay. Resides in the self. Atmavantam. Atmavantam, situated in the Atman. Na karmani nibadhnanti dhananjaya. Is never bound by any actions. Atmavantam means both being situated in the Atman, being, desire the Atman. Okay, nibadnanti, karmani nibadnanti dhananjaya. Then he is not bound by actions, by the karma. Okay. Okay. 32. Therefore, O Bharata, get up and fight, establishing yourself in yoga and using the sword of knowledge to slash off all those doubts that were born from ignorance and are infesting the heart. So, you should know, you should have a clear vision, not being confused. So the doubts are the confusion. It's not that one should not use one's intelligence. We need to use our intelligence. We need to question but we cannot just always stay in doubt. Okay. And this was chapter 4. I think we went through, in the proper time. So we reached the end of the chapter. You want to elaborate something more about the chapter, or next time we start with Sannyasa Yoga?
Yeah, next time we can start with 5. Maybe you can summarize this chapter 4 on this Jnana Yoga.
Let me do this. Next time we'll also have a look at my Bhagavad Gita study guide, which I hope to translate into English, because I originally wrote it in Italian language. So I translate it into English. It will be easier for me to have, in front of me to summarize the chapter. So yeah, I think that now it is the end of the hour. So we'll do next time. So we'll start the chapter 5 after summarizing the chapter 4.
Yeah,
okay
sure.
For you. Okay. Okay, thanks. I appreciate your participation very much. To the next time.